Shalom, Christ.
Shalom, Christ.
Shalom.
So, okay. Good.
Shalom, Israel, with ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth that according to the Bible, the Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, we are the Israelites.
That's right.
I'm Priest and Officer Sha'al, and today is Wednesday Lord's class. Let's clap it up. Most High in Christ, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah Barakatam to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah to the sisters. All right? So basically, we're going to start off this topic today would be that God does not want Israel to be mixed with the other nations. So like God wants Israel to be separate from the other nations. Like, all right? And the reason why I picked this topic is because you got to understand that our people is under the hypnotism of Martin Luther King Jr. You understand what he done in the 60s. You understand? Our people is in the spirit of thanking Martin Luther King for integrating us with the oppressors. You understand? So they're feeling very thankful and forgiving towards the other oppressors. You understand? For not remembering and forgetting what our oppressors done to us. Hey, listen, common sense is somebody, when it comes to our brothers and sisters, which I'm going to get into during this class, if we coming in an offense towards each other, we're supposed to forgive each other.
Right.
And that's one thing that we don't have in the Black, Hispanic, and Native community is more forgiveness towards one another. You understand? But our Christian pastors, our leaders, Martin Luther King Jr., they embedded in our minds that we're supposed to forgive and love our oppressors. You understand? When the scriptures say turn the other cheek, it's talking about your fellow Israelite. You understand? As far as forgiving him, not your oppressor. You understand? Your oppressor is your enemy. You understand? Your oppressor is not your fellow Israelite brother or sister that you could forgive. Right. So we in this week where a lot of our people, you understand, are feeling a little bit extra, thankful and forgiveness towards the other nation, especially Esau, which is the white man. But we're going to go into these scriptures. We're going to find out from the Most High God, out of his word, out of his own mouth, that he wants us separate from the other nations. How he feels about the other nations. You understand? Does he love the white man? Does he love Africans? Does he love the Asians? You understand? Who does the Most High love, right? So we're going to get into it because it's crazy how we are made to forget the rape, robbery, pillage, bloodshed, the murders, the crimes, the rapes, the castrations, the selling of our children, the lynchings, you understand, the burnings of our front lawns and our houses. How do we forget all of that? You understand? How is it okay for you to say, oh, I forgive you? You understand? To a nation who has constantly shown and proven through history that he's just out to destroy us, that he hates us. Right. You understand? We living in 2022 now, right? And the same atrocities is befalling Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, the Lord's chosen people. You understand? It's insanely how we can forget about all that happened to us as a race of people. But when you're dealing with your own brother and your sister in your neighborhood, and he step on your Jordans or he look at you the wrong way, you understand? You want to commit the most. You want to do the most. You want to act in hate and harm and injure and talk down and curse at your brother or sister. Not forgiving your brother and sister. You understand? Not realizing that, guess what? Your brother is going through the same oppression that you're going through. You understand? Their ancestors, your ancestors, our ancestors was the same ones that was hauled off in cargo slave ships and brought here to the Americas, the North, South, Central islands, the Caribbeans, you understand, and forced and had Christianity forced upon us. Had the other nations, God forced upon us. Whereas they made us forget who we are and to worship their gods and their idols. And to for us to look at each other like we're nothing. Right? But and also, if I may, it's very hypocritical how our leaders told us to forgive the other nations. Listen, when you're dealing with the people who in Israel, Jerusalem, Palestine right now, who call themselves Jewish, which they are not the real Jews. You understand? The Ashkenazis, they're from the nation of Amalek. They are not the real Jews. Listen, you cannot get any Jew to forgive and forget what Hitler and the Germans did to them.
Right.
You understand? That's not happening. You understand? Listen, as so much that guess what? They won't even buy a German car. You understand? That's how separate they keep themselves in. You understand? That's how much honor that they uphold of what befell them as a race of people. You understand? People, how the white man bombed what is that? Japan, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. If I'm correct, Nagasaki. Salaki. You understand? Raise your hand. Those people will not forgive. They will always remember. You understand? You ask any nationality of people the oppression that the white man, you understand, put upon them, they will not forgive. Because the Bible says that the earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
Right.
You understand? The white man is ruling. You understand? The nation of Edom is ruling. You understand? And how he infiltrated, bombed, you understand, and took over these other countries. You understand? He is a spoiler of all nations. And all nations do not forgive him. They will always remember. You understand? Now, granted, for the sake of alliances and you know what you call that, when a war break out, you know, you want a particular, you know, nation on your side. You understand? They give them what's that word? Retribution? What is that? Retribution. You understand? Give them money. You understand? To satisfy them, to pacify them. You understand? To dull them. But at the end, guess what? Slaki still come.
Not retribution. It's
reparation. Slaki, reparation. Come the water. You understand? Reparation. You understand? So that they could be quiet and silent. But really, all the nationalities hate Esau. You understand? And just to prove to you, like about a week or two ago, they gave Afghanistan millions and millions of dollars. You understand? What did they give Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians? You understand? What did we fight, protest, march? You understand? Picketed, boycott over, and what do we have to show? You understand? Look at Harlem. Look at Harlem. You understand? Look at the Bronx. You understand? More killings in the Bronx. You understand? Look at what's going on in Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore. You understand? Canada, the UK, Jamaica. You understand? Trinidad. Wherever there's Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, we're still catching hell. You understand? So this so-called dream that Martin Luther King had was a false dream. You understand? It was a ticket to sell you short, to sell his people short. He sold you out because he's a greedy bastard.
Right.
You understand? He wants to be integrated with the other nations. Why? Because he was jealous over the other nations. You understand? While we were booming in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, we had the Black Wall Street. We had our own restaurants, theaters, schools. What else? Hospitals and stuff. We had our own businesses. Everything was Black owned. You understand? We was like the so-called Jewish. You understand? Our Black dollar stayed in the neighborhood for a month. You understand? A month or two. You understand? A Negro get a dollar. Guess what? He's giving it to the Arab. He's giving it to the Asians. He's giving it to the white man. We don't know how to keep a dollar. But yet we cry because we have no businesses. You understand? We have no economic systems. You understand? Why is that? Because we don't follow these law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. You understand? We tend to forget what the Most High wanted out of us, and that's to be separate from the other nations, right? So let's go to that first scripture, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Or I can have it.
Sir.
Right. Remember the days of old.
This is a commandment. You understand? We gotta pay very close attention to every single word that's in the Bible. You understand? Every single word has a meaning. Every single word has a context. You understand? Your periods, your commas. You understand? Your hyphens. You understand? Everything is important when it comes down. And any given point in the Bible, the Most High is always giving a commandment. You understand? An order, an instruction. Read that again.
Remember the days of old.
No, forget.
Remember the days of old.
Forget slavery, because a couple of years ago you had Steve Harvey. It was a man with Steve Harvey when he said forget about slavery. You understand? It was a situation when on his talk show, one of his callers called in and they wanted advice from Steve Harvey, and they asked, well, Steve Harvey, what do you do if another nation brings up slavery? And he said, forget about it. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said something to the guidelines of it's over, forget about it. You understand? What is going on with this critical race theory, where they don't want to teach the other nations what they did to Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians? Because we're going to look at them like they're the bad guys.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They want us to forget our history, forget of what the atrocities and the tribulations and oppression that they put upon us. You understand? Read that again.
Remember the days of
The
old.
Most High saying, remember the days of old. You understand? What is the days of old? The days of old is not just talking about the 70s and the 60s and the 50s and whatnot. You understand? But when you pick up this Bible and you learn who you are according to the Bible as being an Israelite, and our history and what the Most High commanded us to do, and how we're supposed to be righteous, that's when you start to remember the days of old. You understand? When you pick up this Bible and start to understand who you are, you understand? Start to understand who your enemies are, what the Most High expects from you. You understand? Who to love, who to hate, who to hate, what to eat, what not to eat, what to celebrate, what not to celebrate. You understand? Read on.
Consider the years of many generations.
Consider the years of many generations. You understand? What about our ancestors? What about our ancestors that died, that was taken from West Africa, brought here to the Americas? What about our ancestors that was forced to do the most downgrading acts by their oppressors? You understand? What about our ancestors who had to face having their children taken away from them? You understand? What about our foremothers who lost their husbands because they stood up for their families? You understand? What a white man was trying to down them in front of their families, and they got lynched and castrated, all for the sake of having dignity and pride and standing up for their family.
Right.
What about them? You understand? What about our brothers and sisters that actually believed in Martin Luther King's dream, marched with him to Washington, D.C. and Selma, and had dogs sicked on them, had high-power fire hoses had high-power fire hoses put on them, beaten with billy sticks, nightclubs and stuff like that, pepper spray. You understand? What about those brothers and sisters? You understand? But yet today, everybody wants the Black and Hispanic man and the Native North American Indian man to forget. Oh, that was in the past. God damn, that was in the past. You still remember? You still can't get over it. Listen, you got jobs now, you got cars now, you got houses now. You understand? That's why the Most High said that oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. You got to understand that. Listen, man, these things, these little trinkets, these little. You know, the one of the Most High that we have a slavery to take care of ourselves. But you understand, all of these gifts and all of this stuff, all of this is vanity. All of this is just to keep us docile and keep us to be a good slave. The Most High said that a gift destroyeth the heart. Right? Read on.
Ask thy father.
Read that from that second. Consider the years.
Consider the years of many generations.
Right. Consider the many years of Salaki. Consider the years of many generations. You understand? Consider what our forefathers and mothers went through. You understand? And this is twofold, like I said, not only in this generation, but biblically also. You understand? We got brothers. You had a mother that lost 7 sons for the sake of not disobeying the Lord. You understand? To be an example of how to stand up for the Most High in your nation. You understand? You have brothers and sisters that died for this law. You understand? Consider how righteous Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was.
Right.
You understand? Consider how faithful King David was. You understand? Consider how Christ died for his brothers and sisters. You understand how he taught us these laws, statutes, commandments. You know?
Ask thy father.
Ask who?
Thy father.
Ask your father. You understand? The oppressor, you know, and no, unfortunately, a lot of us don't have fathers, wasn't brought up with fathers. You understand why? Because the oppressor destroyed our house. You understand? The oppressor destroyed our house in the 70s, in the 60s, and the 70s with the heroin, the weed. You understand? In the 80s, is the crack and the cocaine. Now you have the pills and all these multiple drugs that mess up our family. You understand? That's why we say everything that we go through, we blame the white man. The white man is the deceiver that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
You understand? Because he exploits us. You know, when we down and out, he knows that, because he knows that we are the Lord's chosen people, and he knows that when we're not following the Lord's statutes, commandments, that the Most High is against us. You understand? So he exploits that. You understand? He kills us. He sells us drugs. He puts guns in our neighborhoods. You understand? He puts gangs in our neighborhood. He always sets up pitfalls for us to sin against the Lord, because he knows when we sin against the Lord, the Most High is not with us. You understand? But as far as our fathers, you understand, for us who's fortunate to have our fathers around, especially our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers, talk to them. Ask them how it was in the 50s and the 60s, you understand, in the 70s. They can tell you the amount of racism that they may have went through. You understand? They can tell you how evil and how disgusting and how much of a monster a white man is. You understand? You know?
And he will show thee.
And he will show thee. You understand? He will show you what occurred during his generation. You understand? And how you're supposed to stay strong in your generation. You understand? How you're supposed to be brought up with morals and dignity and respect and be civil towards your people, and to understand who your oppressors are. You understand? You still got some folks like that around this day. You understand? You still got some black men from the South who hates the white man. You understand? Slaka, you know, who hates the white man because of what they've done. You understand? Nobody, everybody that fall for this Martin Luther King dream. You understand? Read on.
Thy elders.
Say what?
Thy elders.
Read on.
And they will tell thee.
And they will do what?
Tell thee.
Right, and your elders will tell you. You understand? They'll tell you. You understand the hardship they got to go through. You understand the bombing of Wall Street. You understand they bombed. Was it Philadelphia? You understand they bombed that whole city of Philadelphia. You understand what occurred with Rosewood. You understand things of that nature. They'll let you know. You understand that? Listen, man, this beast, he's a monster. You understand? How can you love a monster like that? How can you try to get a nation to love you when it's not them to love you? Because the Most High didn't create them to love you. You understand? Let's drop that. We're going to go into scriptures like, let's go to that scripture that I brought out the other day. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. You understand? And this goes for the Christians who's teaching us that same nonsense today, as far as what Martin Luther King taught. You understand? For us to love the other nations. You understand? The Most High knows what he's doing by putting us separate. You understand? Listen, Just imagine if we abided to being separate, how much we can gain, like how we did back generations ago. You understand? There's nothing for us to come up with another Black Wall Street. You understand? Another Rosewell where our communities is thriving. Listen, we could rebuild Harlem overnight. You understand? Just if every Black, Hispanic, or Native North American Indian separate and take their minds off of America's philosophies and what they taught us. You understand? We are the ones that's holding ourselves back for not being obedient to the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High. Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. Or I can have it.
Sir.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
And this is the Most High. You understand? The Most High talking to Moses. You understand? The Most High is talking to the Israelites. You understand? And he's saying that we shall be holy unto the Most High. Now we all know that holy means separate, right? Which is kodash in Hebrew, to be separate from the other nations. The Most High said that we shall be holy unto the Most High. Read on.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
For the Most High is holy. Read on.
And have severed you.
And have what?
Severed you.
That word is strong. You understand? You know what it means to be severed? You understand? To be cut off, to be split apart. You understand? You have amputees walking around, their limbs is severed. You understand? That's how we're supposed to be. We are supposed to be cut off from the other nations. We're supposed to be by ourselves. The Most High wants every Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indian to be with each other. Let's have our own. He don't want us to be mixed with the mingling and mixed interracial relationships. You understand? To be friends with the other nations, with the Africans, with the Arabs, with the Chinese, especially your oppressor, the white man. You understand? He wants us to be severed, to be completely cut off and separate. Read on. Severed you.
And have severed you from other people.
From who?
Other people.
Now, what does this sound like? You understand? For goodness, what does this sound like? This is written in the Bible, letting you know that your Christian, Martin Luther King didn't know these scriptures. You understand? Your Christian pastor don't know these scriptures. You understand? They just rumble and rant and say whatever they feel that's on their mind. You understand? To make themselves feel good. But the Most High letting you know that he's a separatist, that the Most High is all for segregation, to be separate. He's not with that integration nonsense. You understand that our leaders forced on us. You understand? Read on.
That ye should be mine.
That we shall be the other nations. That
ye should be mine.
That ye should be mine. You understand? We belong to the Most High. The Most High wants us to belong to him. So when we mingling with these other nations, you understand? That's sort of like how you feel when your woman commit adultery. You understand? You're gonna feel betrayed. You understand? You're gonna feel let down. That's how the Most High feels when he's dealing with his nation. You understand? In some scriptures, he refers us as the woman. You understand? Because we're the Most High. We're supposed to be belonging to the Most High. He don't want us to integrate. You understand? And be mixed with the other nations. The other nations hate us. Look what happens every so often when we do hang out with the other nations. Like there was a story that happened a couple of months ago when a sister, damn, I forgot her name. This was big in the media a couple of months ago when a sister, she was married, she had children, but she had some white female friends. And she spent the night over their house, whatever, they had some type of get together, and she was found dead. But listen, that happens far too often though. You understand? Especially amongst our Black, Hispanic sisters. You understand? You think that these white girls and these sororities, you understand, and these pledges and these whatever, these little groups, you think that they like and love you, but they hate you though. You understand? Because guess what? Their parents, their ancestors taught them how to hate. You understand? They hate you. You understand? Read on. Any more on that? I know, swear. Let's drop that. And let's go to Let's go to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. You understand? We're going to get the understanding of how the Lord feels about these other nations and how he does not want us to deal with them. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. And these are scriptures that your pastor should be bringing out because it's okay. You understand? It's okay to feel this way because this is what the Most High feels. You understand? We belong to the Most High. You understand? So whatever our Father feels and loves, we supposed to love to. Whatever our Father hates, we supposed to hate. So let me get there with you.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15.
Hold on, just a second. And just imagine, you understand? Just imagine if our leaders taught us this, there'll be a lot of more brothers and sisters still alive. You understand? Why? Because we know not to mingle with the other nations. You understand? Most High said, if I'm paraphrasing, if our ways please him, then it's like, what is that scripture? I'm paraphrasing. The Most High said he will make your enemies be at peace. You understand? And the only way how to do that is to follow these law, statutes, commandments. You understand? Because like I said, these law, statutes, commandments are life. You understand? You follow these law, statutes, commandments. The Most High is going to put that protective hedge on you. You understand? When you wilding out, when you smoking weed, when you doing drugs and popping pills, you understand? You being a sexual deviant, you being a homosexual, you robbing, you stealing. You understand? You worshiping other gods. You understand? The Most High is not going to look out for you. You understand? That's why we get ourselves so jacked up out here in the world. You understand? You pull over. You understand? And this is a squad car. This is a squad car full of KKK members, which are formerly known today as your local police, your police department. You understand what I'm saying? Next thing happens, you understand? He pulls you out the car. He tases you. He shoots you 7 times in the back. You understand why? Because the Most High is not protecting you. You understand? You probably did something wicked the night before, and that's judgment to the Most High, from the Most High. But how many brothers you understand that probably did get pulled over, and the Most High was with you? You understand? Nothing happened. You understand what I'm saying? Like the Most High controls that. You understand? Like the scripture that I brought out, how the Most High verily I will entreat thee while in the time of evil affliction. Everything happens in the Most High's reason. You understand? Whether he's with you or whether he's not with you. Whether you blessed or whether you cursed. You got that? Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
The Most High said what?
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. You understand? What is talking about the nations? Talking about, in this context, it's not talking about Israel. It's talking about the other nations. You understand? We got to start understanding who are the nations biblically also. You understand? You got Edom, you got Elam, you got Amalek. You understand? You got Moab, you got Ammon. You understand? We got to start memorizing and knowing who these biblical names is, because the Most High, out of all the nationalities of the earth, we all have a biblical name. You understand? We're not African Americans, we're not Haitians, we're not Dominicans. You understand? We're not Indians. You understand? The white man, you got Russian, Greek, Chinese, Japanese. We all got biblical names according to the Bible. Read that again.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. Can anybody tell me what this means? Young man, Brian.
Yeah. The water. They're small. They're minute.
Absolutely right. But there's more to it. You're on it. You're absolutely right. There's more than the minute. Right. You got something want to say, Brian?
Small amount. Yeah, I'm gonna follow up. They small amount. They don't matter. They're nothing. They're
right. You're absolutely right. But let's go into a little bit detail into it. You had something to say on that, Brian?
Tony.
Tony.
Constant. Like one drop of water to a whole bucket.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Give him a hand. Let's go over that again. All right, read that from the top.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. You understand? Now imagine if you have a bucket, right? And you have a bottle of water, you pour a tiny amount of water in that one bucket, that one big bucket. Now, what is that one little drop of water compared to that whole bucket? It's nothing. You understand? That's what the God of Israel felt about the other nations.
Right.
You understand? While Martin Luther King was was getting our people to protest and march and risk their lives. You understand? And what's so messed up about it, you had defenseless elderly men and women out there on the front lines. You understand? That's a cowardice act. You understand? Nowhere in history, Salaki, nowhere in Israel, are we going to allow our women to fight in the battle. You understand? They're going to be home while we're out in the battle. You understand? Our young feeble men, they're going to be home. You understand? It's just going to be strong, righteous men amongst our nation that's going to fight. You understand? For Israel. But this is what the mindset of our sellout leaders are, right? Read that again.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
And counted as the small dust of a balance. You understand? A small dust of a balance. You understand? Imagine putting a piece of dust on a balance beam. What that little is the balance beam going to budge? No, it's not. You understand? That's how little and that's how little the Most High feels about these other nations. Read on.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. You understand? And that's what he does. You understand? You look at these other, these islands, how the Most High bring these storms and these tempests. You understand? And destroy these towns. That's how he feel about the white man. You understand? He doesn't care about the white man. He doesn't care about the oppressors. That's how he feels. Drop that. Let's go to in the Apocrypha. Brothers already know where I'm going. Oh, son of Christ. I've been studying. Let's go to we don't got to go into Deuteronomy 7 and 6, do we? We all know that the Most High made us holy and chosen. You understand? Above all the other nations. Let's go to our 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. God loves everybody. You know what I'm saying? God loves everybody. John 3:16, for God so loved the world. You understand? Everybody, it's all about love. Love this, love that. How can you say that everything is about love? Look on your television and see what's going on. You understand? This world is full of hate. You understand? The only love that's going on is within inside the ISUBK under Commander General Yahana.
Right.
You understand? That's the only place love exists. You understand? That love doesn't exist in your family. You understand? Love doesn't exist on your job. Love doesn't exist with you when what you think is your white best friend, or you got an Asian friend. Love only exists within the schools of the IHBK under Commander General Yohana. And listen, love is an action word. You understand? We just don't say I love you. You understand? Listen, if you're going off, we're going to correct you. If we need counsel, we're going to help you. You understand? If you need understanding in these scriptures, you weak anything, guess what? We're going to help you. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to eat pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp. You understand? You're not going to be an adulterer. You're not going to follow these pagan days. And what you are going to do is you're going to love your brother and your sister, just like how Christ commanded us. You understand? And we're going to teach you who you are according to the Bible, that you are an Israelite. You understand? That God is black, Christ is black. This is what the Christian church doesn't teach us. Salakia, if I may, you understand? This morning, I was on my way to slavery, right? And the city Christian woman, you understand? Loud mouth. She's speaking to some other sister. She's saying, her and her Christian mindset, she was basically, saying how God is love and everything is love and love this and love that. You know what I'm saying? In the back of my mind, I'm saying, do you not see the Most High killing these people over coronavirus and the Omicron viruses? You understand? Do you not see the war, the things that's going on in other nations, all these fires, all these wildfires that's taking place, all these hurricanes and tornadoes? You understand? Do you not see what's going on in your own neighborhoods? You understand? And what chopped me off is just before she got up and left, she told the other sister that she was talking to, yeah, God did away with the laws. Just before, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. But Salaki, let's go back to the topic. Let me get that scripture.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou hast made as Lord of all thy creatures,
Wait on.
of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Now, Salaki, when it says of whom come we all, what does that mean? Is that just talking about the Israelites? Young man, Tony.
No, sir, it's talking about all people.
All nations, all nationalities, right? Came from Adam via Noah and the ark. You understand? We all know that we're we're Shemites, right? We come from the sea line of Shem. Most High chose Shem, right? Read on.
And the people.
Let's call out the verse, Baba Kushel.
2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 54.
God.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen. You want 55?
God. So, and the people whom thou hast chosen, we all know that the Most High chosen the Israelites, Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. Letting you know that out of all nationalities that came from Adam, he's chosen the Israelites. Read on.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Thou madest the world for our sakes. The Most High made the world for our sakes. And here we are fighting to be recognized by our oppressors. Here we are fighting and marching and protesting Black Lives Matter, you understand, so that we can gain some recognition and love and respect and honor from the other nations. Guess what? That's not happening. You understand? Rather, you understand that the Lord made the world for your sakes, Black man. You understand? When I mean Black man, I'm talking about Hispanic and Native also. You understand? The Most High made the world for your sakes. You understand? This world belongs to you. But the reason why we're not in rulership is because we was disobedient. You understand? We didn't want to recognize that we should not be separate. You understand? We was jealous and envious over the other nations. We wanted what they wanted. Oh yeah, well, guess what? Now the Most High gave it to us. Now we're suffering.
Right.
You didn't want to respect that the Most High gave you this world. You understand? You can have your own land. You forget about land. The whole world.
Right.
You understand? And including that, ruling over the other nations. All the resources. But yet, we wanted to love the other nations. We wanted to follow their gods, follow their customs. You understand? What we wanted to do, we wanted to grow dreads, get tattoos. You understand? Be punk rock stars, taking on LCD and acid. You understand? And being like them. While the Most High gave us his culture, his heritage. Read on.
Verse 56. As for the other people.
As for the other people, who are the other people? The other nations. Chinese, Japanese, the Arabs, the East Indians. You understand the Eskimos. A lot of people think that the Hawaiians are our people. No, Hawaiians are not our people. You understand? They're heathens. You understand? Don't get caught up in the women with the hair and they do the hip rolls and shit like Salaka. When you go to Hawaii, all that, you think all that is fine. Nah, guess what? They're heathens too. The Japheth, the Hamites, the Japheth, the Japhetic tribes, the Hamites, which is the Africans, all the other nations. You understand? All those other weird nations that's out in the forest and stuff like that. You understand? That's not Israel. Them people that the Most High is talking about also. Read on.
Which also come of Adam.
Which also come of Adam. Read on.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are what?
Nothing.
They are what?
Nothing.
They are nothing. But wait a minute, they're in rulership. Nothing. They are nothing.
They are nothing.
They're the ones that give you the jobs.
They are nothing.
They call the shots. They rule the world. They over the entertainment business, the Hollywood.
They are nothing.
Yeah, the Lord said they are nothing. You understand? Even though they are put in a higher position over us, you understand they're over us, but the Most High says that they're nothing. And remember when it says, I believe in Romans, I'm paraphrasing that, how what the Most High did with Pharaoh, how when Pharaoh was over us, the Most High raised a Pharaoh to be over us just so the Most High could bring him down. Same thing how he's doing when the scriptures tell you that's how the same thing he's doing with the oppressor, our white man. You understand? He's building him up so that guess what? He could bring him, that the Most High could bring our oppressors down. And that's what they're doing in these last, that's what the Most High is doing in these last days. You understand? Hey, listen, America is slowly but surely being destroyed by the Lord. You understand? All these the coronavirus and these variants, you understand? These earthquakes, these tornadoes, these hurricanes, you understand? These volcanoes, you understand? The economic structure is going down. Don't be fooled. White man is going to make you believe that his empire is prospering, but no, it's not. Listen, the Edomites are scared. Right. They're scared to death. You understand? They're not talking about how many Edomites is going on top of the building and jumping off and committing suicide because they lost their money. You understand? Their banks is going, their businesses going on, shutting down their businesses. Nobody is talking about the depression and the suicides that's going on amongst the other nations. Them losing their businesses. Why? Because guess what? Niggas, spics, and wetbacks are not working. You understand? We're home rebuilding our families.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Barak Yahweh Shai. You understand? So our oppressors' economy, you understand, this world is slowly, you understand, is out of here. You understand? When the Most High, Yahweh Shai, he's gonna come, you understand, to save Israel and bring us into that new kingdom and so that we'll be righteous. You understand? And follow and rule over these other nations, keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, be an example on how we were supposed to be in the first place. Right? We don't put out that verse.
2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 56. But be like unto spittle.
Read it, Slaki. Read it from the top.
Oh, come. 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are nothing. They are nothing. You understand? Meanwhile, here in this society, we've been taught that we're nothing. You understand? Half the majority of our brothers, you understand, that's in prison, dead, strung out on drugs, you understand, turned to a life of crime, all because we've been taught that we're nothing by our oppressors. You understand? We wasn't born here knowing our nationality. We wasn't born knowing that we are the children of the Most High. You understand that we are from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all the way down to Issachar. You understand? We wasn't taught these laws, statutes, commandments. We wasn't taught who to love, who to hate, what to celebrate. You understand? They taught us that we're nothing, that we're niggas, spics, wetbacks, that we'll never amount to anything. that we're good for nothing. Meanwhile, guess what? The only reason why these nations are alive and thriving is because of us.
Right.
You understand? The Most High gave us the knowledge. It tells you that in the scripture that He gave. I'm paraphrasing that He gave the knowledge to Jacob over, I'm paraphrasing. That the Most High gave His wisdom to Jacob, which is Israel. You understand? You wonder why? You wonder why? We came up. There's a book called Black Inventors of America. You understand? You wonder why everything you see that's possible that we use for our civilization, that a Black, Hispanic, or Native man or woman created it. You understand? Because the Most High gave us His wisdom. Without us, it'll be no other nations thriving.
But be like unto spittle.
But be like unto what?
Spittle.
Oh man, spittle. That hawk. You understand? That nasty hawk that you conjure up in the back of your throat. You understand? And you spit on the floor and it's like 3 different colors. That's how the Most High feels about the other nations. Read that again.
But be like unto spittle.
Be like unto spittle. Then we get spit in the face during the civil rights movements. You understand? When Martin Luther King, when Martin Luther King told us, no matter what they do, don't fight back, don't budge, sit there in peace, sit there in harmony. You understand? That document when brothers and sisters went into that racist restaurant, you understand? You had the white man pouring the soda on their face, throwing the hamburgers and the fries on their face, calling that, you nigga, get out here, you nigga. You understand? Pushing them and budging them and spitting on their face. The Most High thinks about these other nations that spit. Just how they spit in our face. They're ready to spit that the Most High talking about.
It's so heavy what you're bringing out, sir, because when I hear these scriptures, I feel empowered.
Right.
I feel good.
Right.
When I hear that the Most High wanted to sever from the other nations, when I hear the Most High's heart regarding the other nations, it makes me feel good.
Right.
But you got so many brothers, like, how is it possible that, the other nations being saved or whether or not we should be with them?
But so I can say that again?
One of the most debated subjects that we hear, especially when you listen to Cross the Line and listen to the captain,
right,
is brothers wanting to be with the other nations.
Right.
Brothers can't accept the kingdom without being there with the other nations.
Right.
And it's just, when I hear this, I feel good about it.
Absolutely.
But it's hard for me to understand how so many brothers hear this word and it brings fear to them, like they're not worthy to be God's children.
Right, absolutely. You understand? That's that Stockholm syndrome. You understand? That's that Martin Luther King Stockholm syndrome. You understand? Sellout mentality that our people have. But yet, hold your point on. But yeah, we sigh and cry because we have nothing in the hood. You understand? And the same brothers and sisters that say, we should love the other nation, the same ones that say, oh, well, we don't have nothing in the hood. Gentrification. You understand? Look at the white people moving in our neighborhoods. Look at the Asian businesses and the African businesses and the Arab businesses in our neighborhood. Those are the same people that first assigned cry because we don't have nothing. You understand? Common sense that listen, we got to, in order to get something, you understand, you got to be separate. Because listen, at the end of the day, you don't see the Arabs hanging out with the Negroes in the neighborhood. They going back to their Bollywood, you understand, or whatever they live in. You understand? You don't see the Asians hanging out with Takesha and Tyrone and them. You understand? They get their money, they pack up, and they go back to wherever they live. You understand? Same thing as the Africans of the other nations. You understand? They go into their own zones and to be separate. They only come out when it's time to get money from us.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Build up their economic structure. Send their kids to colleges. You understand? So they can learn to rule over you, rule over your children. You understand? They got inheritance set up, businesses. Their family died, the next generation takes over. That generation died, that their generation takes over. You understand? What do we have? But yet we're so worried about loving the other people, loving the other nations. Meanwhile, guess what? We don't even love each other. We don't even know how to love each other because we're not taught. Your Christian pastor don't teach you how to love another brother or another sister, right? You have something to say, brother?
Yes, sir. Sawada, thank you. With the other nation, well, I say this, with our people, that fear, I think is, once they look into the scriptures and it's only Israel, when you look out and you see it's basically like us against the world. And I think it's that fear of knowing that every other nation, all the other nations out there is your enemy.
Right.
That they get scared and pulled away because they fear more the enemy than they do the Most High.
Right. Yeah, within the Most High say though, you're absolutely right. You understand? And that's why we earn not knowing these scriptures.
Right.
Because what the Most High said, you understand? Our power comes from the Most High. And the Most High doesn't deal with numbers. You understand? Listen, what did David, how many Philistines? Well, wait, was that Samson? Was it Samson? Samson. How many Philistines he killed? 1,000 with a jawbone with a jawbone?
Yeah.
Something to that. You understand? Look how Saul, he was David over David because he killed thousands. You understand? Yeah, Saul he killed thousands, but David he killed a couple of thousands. Hey, listen, the Most High can put that power on us. You understand? So listen, whether it's a whole nation, multiple nations against Israel, you understand? If we're right with the Most High, guess what? The Most High is going to be with us. But if we're not right, the Most High is not going to be with us. And it tells you in the scriptures, it tells you in the Apocrypha, how the other nations know, hey, listen, this nation here, Israel, listen, let me tell you about these cats. These some bad motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But here's the thing. If they good with their power, if they follow these law, statute, commandments, we're done. You understand? We're done. They're on top. They're ruling over us. But if they decide to disobey their God, listen, we in there. We're gonna rule over them. You understand? We got it. So they know that's the same mentality they have today. They know. So I'm telling you how they gathered together for us, for our name Israel, to be no more in remembrance. Right? All right, no sweat. Let's drop that. Let's give me that. What verse we in now?
56 of the last sentence.
56. Read Bakasha.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Same scripture that was in Isaiah. You understand? Liken the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Right? So that's like me having a bottle of water and I pour out that little water. What is that little water that falls on the floor compared to all the rest of the water that's in that bottle? You understand? That's how small and insignificant the Most High feels about these other nations, Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. You understand? Because we come up with this mindset, and it's a demon too, that that we gotta conquer and fight and get over, that when we get around these nations, we feel like we're small. We the ones that feel like we're small when we come around these other nations. You understand? We're scared to keep our head high. You understand? We want to keep our head down. You understand? Especially on the job. You understand? You talk different. You understand? You sound like Tyrone. You understand? On the corner, real hardcore. When you get to the job, hey, good morning. How are you? You understand? Your voice changes. Your voice change. You understand? Listen, we gotta come out that mindset, you understand, of neglecting who we are. You understand? Neglecting who we are, as the Lord's chosen people. Not saying to go around them and be wild and disrespectful. You understand? But hold your head up. You understand? Have some pride. You understand? Have some dignity. You understand who you are. When I'm talking about pride, I'm not talking about that vanity pride. I'm talking about that pride at who the Most High made you, that you are an Israelite. You understand? When you talk to your boss on the job, you look him in the eye. You understand? All the mind in your back, you're saying yes. Yes, I'll get this done. I'll type these papers. I'll move these crates. But in the back of your mind, looking at me now, you goddamn devil. I can't wait till Christ come and just destroy you. I can't wait to have your children on the bottom of my boot. You understand what I'm saying? Don't say that out loud now. Well, we're not telling you to say that out loud now because we don't want you to lose your job. You understand what I'm saying? But, and listen, and this is the thing though. The same way how you might be having that you may be having that in your mind, he's looking at you in your eye and saying, while he's telling you to move those boxes and move those crates, he's saying, nigga, I can't stand you, you damn nigga. You understand? Hey, listen, you gonna believe us or not, but that's what he's thinking. But you're so caught up that he's your friend, that John is your friend. You understand that? That Timothy and Smith and them, they're your friends. No, they hate you. You understand? They go home, they talk about you at the dinner table. You understand? They tell you that they discuss how much hatred they got for you. You understand? It's ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Verse 57.
Verse 57. And now.
And what?
And now.
And what?
And now.
And now, listen, man. After the Most High, a period of time we were ruling. You understand? We were right with the Most High. We followed His laws, statutes, commandments. We was over the other nations. Read on.
O Lord, behold, these heathens.
These heathens. What is heathen? An Israelite. Read on.
Which have ever been reputed as nothing.
Whichever has been reputed as nothing, you understand, their reputation was nothing. The Most High made them nothing, considered them to be nothing. Most High considered them to just be our slaves.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And now with that, we are such a righteous nation that once upon a time, you understand, we treated our slaves as humans. We ain't do the filth and the disgust and the atrocities and abominations and the filthy, wicked, disgusting acts on how the oppressors did to us when we were in slavery. Made homosexuals out of our boys, buck breaking. You understand what I'm saying? Raping our little girls, our grandmothers, our mothers. You understand? Cutting open the stomachs of our pregnant sisters. The castrations, the lynches, you understand? Understand this, that like General Muhammad said, he said, we're not maniacs, you understand? The other nation, the Esau, he's a maniac, you understand? They're gonna serve with hard bondage, but not as the means as the crimes how they committed towards us. You understand what I'm saying? The Lord is going to make it a way where they're going to feel the effects on how they treated us. But we're not going to be raping them and first of all, we can't even have sex with them.
Right.
So how can we rape them? You understand what I'm saying? But just imagine how in the kingdom, how the Most High said, little happy are they when they dash their little ones into pieces. I'm gonna take a baby and bam. But just imagine, right? We have slaves, and they're working hard, they're building up our cities, you understand? We're over them and they can't stand it, they hate it, they're disgusted at how at one time they was ruling, now they on the bottom. How frustrated because we had them in the sun for 20 hours a day. You understand? We took away, me personally, I don't mean to say, but in the kingdom of heaven, it's like in the kingdom, my slaves are now allowed to have pets. That's their pride and joy. Their dogs, their cats, their poodles, that's their pride and joy. They treat a dog more better than they treat a nigga here in America.
Right.
I'm personally going to ask Christ if I could take away dogs and cats from them, and they're going to hate me for that. They can't deal with no animals. The other East Indians, yes. Arabs, Asians, maybe, because they you know what they do. But Esau, no. Not to get off the subject, but just imagine how they're so under pressure and oppressed that they actually go into a house one day and just kill a whole family because it's niggas ruling over them. It's Israelites ruling them. Listen, we ain't do it. They did it. They did it for us. But now they're gonna have to put to prison for murdering because thou shalt not kill. Just a little example, you understand? Not to go off topic, you know.
Have begun to be lords over us.
Now they're lords over us. You understand? They're lords over us. You understand? When a black man, a Hispanic man, or Native North American Indian man, you understand, through the ranking, you understand, supposed to be a lord over me. Supposed to be a lord over you. Or I'll be a lord over him or her. You know what I'm saying? Now they're lords over us. Lord meaning ruler. You understand? They're rulers over us now. When the Most High made this world for our sakes, while the Most High considered them to be spittle and nothing, you understand, to be a drop as a bucket. Now they're lords over us. Read on.
And to devour us.
And did what?
And to devour us.
And they devoured us, man. You understand? Hey, listen, history done showed it. Present history is done proving it. You understand? They are continuously devouring us. You understand? Listen, biblical times also they devoured us. When we came here to the Americas, the North, South, Central Americas, the Caribbean islands, you understand? Up until this very present day, in our ghetto slums, reservations, the barrios, you understand, they're still devouring us. You understand? With drugs, you understand, with Christianity, with Islam, you understand, with Egyptology, abortion clinics, guns on every corner. You understand? All of these crime bills and stuff like that. 3 strikes, you're out. You don't hear 3 strikes, you're out with an Asian. You understand, or an African. But when it comes to a black or Hispanic or Native North American, 3 strikes, you're out. One time. You understand? Why do you think they say one time in LA? Oh, here come one time. One time in LA, listen, if they get you that one time, you're finished. But yet, Asians go through a little affliction. You understand? And they got bills where, listen, man, you know, they got what you call it? Am I correct? Bills. You understand? They got passed bills and laws. You understand, to protect them. You understand? Oh, let's not forget the Jewish. You understand, the Jewish community. You understand, those people who's professing themselves to be Jews. You understand? Oh, you better not lay a hand on them, or else it's over. You understand? None of our celebrity. Look what happened with Nick Cannon. You can't even speak out. You can't even say over the air that the real Jews is black. Well, guess what? You're going to be canceled. Cancel culture. You understand? Read on.
Verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn.
Right, the Most High had called Israel firstborn. Read on.
Thy only begotten.
Thy only begotten. Read on.
And thy fervent lover.
And thy fervent lover. Read on.
Are given into their hands.
And we are given into their hands. So, see, so, you know, you understand how the Lord feels about Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. Well, we don't have to protest and march and boycott, you understand, over what they have when the Most High gave us the word for our sakes. The only thing we got to do is be obedient to the Lord and follow his Lord's statutes and commandments. And he can give us back all of that.
Right.
How the Most High made us separate. Let him have that part of the land. Let them have that part of the land. Let them have their schools. Let them have their theaters, their swimming pools, their hospitals, their churches. Why you want to mingle yourself with somebody who constantly shows you that they hate you. Hey, listen, if your cousin or your brother or your mother shows some type of how can I put it? If you get into an argument or a disagreement or fallout, you understand, you're ready to pack your bags and never talk to them again. You're not seeking for their help or their forgiveness. Like you're not seeking for their love or their help or their forgiveness as you do with the other nations. So why don't we focus that energy of loving the other nations? Let's stop loving the other nations because they don't love us, and let's start loving each other. Black, Hispanic, and Native North American as a nation. You understand? Let's learn how to be separate, take our minds out of the philosophies of what this world told us and on who and what we should follow and worship. Because guess what? It's all right here in this book called the Bible. Most High gave us the instructions of what to do. You understand? Any more on that?
Next verse.
You come.
Verse 59. If the world now be made for our sakes.
Now, if the world be made for our sakes, you understand? Now, this is a question. Because, damn, you understand? Okay, the Most High made this world for our sakes, but listen, we're catching hell. So now we tend to forget who we are. You understand? Now we're asking questions. If the Lord made for our sakes, you understand? Done forgetting that we've been disobedient. Read on.
Why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Black man, we don't got nothing here. You understand? Hey, listen, this world is given into the world. So like the world is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right.
Hey, listen, man, you might own your business. We own several franchises and businesses and stuff like that. But at any given moment, that could be shut down. Right. It could be shut down if you don't have any payments. You understand? Your rent is not due on time. You understand? If you're not holding up to your part of the end, Esau could come in and take all of that away. Or guess what? He could bomb your neighborhood, just like how he did Wall Street in Philadelphia. You understand? All these niggas is making too much money. They thriving, you understand? They're thriving, they're over us. They got a bit more economic structure than us. White man, the oppressor, he's a jealous nation, right?
How long shall this endure?
How long this what?
Shall this endure?
How long shall this endure? You understand? Every Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indian man that's under oppression, we're asking this. How long is this? Listen, more and more lately, I've been sighing and crying to the Most High about this captivity. Listen, I want out of this captivity. I'm getting tired of waking up in the morning, walking 3 blocks to the train, taking a train, getting off the train, walking another 3 blocks just to slave. Right. You understand what I'm saying? I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of seeing my brothers and sisters down and out on drugs. You understand? On the poverty and oppression of the oppressor. Every other month I hear what black man or a woman gets shot and killed, cold blood by cop. I'm getting tired of this oppression. So this is what we're asking. Read that again.
Oh, God. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 59.
How long?
How long shall this endure?
How long shall this endure? That's the problem. We're not praying to the Most High. We're not talking to the Most High. We're not doing what the Most High wants us to do. It's like we're not doing what the Most High wants us to do. We're so busy and focusing on wanting to save the other nations and love the other nations. We're not focusing on building up our nation. Well, the ISK and the Commander General, we're doing that. But I'm talking about as a whole, you understand? The Most High told us to gather ourselves together. Yeah, gather ourselves together, O nation not desired. You understand? The scriptures also says that the Most High is a man that he changed not. We're not going to compromise to the ways of the Christians, to the ways of the imams, to all those other religions. You understand? They got to conform to the way of the Most High.
Right.
under the ISUBK. You understand? That's the only way this is going to work. All those fake Israelite groups, all those breakups, you understand? All those scallywag new tomorrow Israelite groups that's going to be created. Nah, listen. This is where it was started at. One West One West.
Right.
1969, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And the Most High is only dealing with us. Drop that. So that's a question that we're asking, right? Drop that. Give me Second Ezra chapter. Give me let's start at verse 7, I guess.
Which chapter this one?
Let me get Second Ezra chapter 6. Let's start at verse 6.
Oh, okay.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 6.
Oh, okay. Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Then did I consider these things.
So I can do all I can have it.
Concert.
That's what.
And they all were made through me alone.
So I can start from the top.
Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other.
You know.
Verse 7.
So this is the prophet Ezra. This is the prophet Ezra, and he's asking the Most High certain things. Read on.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right. You understand? These brothers, you understand? Like the prophets, you understand? They witnessed the captivity of our people, the oppression that we went through. You understand? Ezra, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Amos, Obadiah. You understand? Most High raised up these prophets so that we can get Israel back on track with the Most High. You understand? Maybe you understand. We start following these laws, statutes, commandments, and getting right as a nation of being holy and separate, that we can actually start ruling again. Read on.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
Well, what?
When Esau and Jacob were born of him.
Read on.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right, we all know that story in Genesis, the 25th chapter, right? When Esau was born first, you understand, came out Rebecca, our foremother, a black woman, right? Isaac being the black. When Esau came out first, and then Jacob hold on to the heel of his brother Esau, representing that you may be on top and you may be first, you came out first, you may be on top, but I'm going to bring you down. Read on.
Verse 9. For Esau.
For who?
For Esau.
For who?
Esau.
For Esau. You understand? Who is Esau? Esau is the forefather of the nation biblically known as the Edomites. Who are the Edomites? What is known today as the so-called white man, whether he's French, Russian, Greek, German, Spaniard, Greek, Roman. Did I leave anything out? You understand? No matter, Italian, you understand? He's an Edomite. He's from his loin. He's from his forefather loins, Esau. Read on.
Is the end of the world.
Esau is what?
The end of the world.
Hey, listen, man. Your oppressor, black man, Hispanic man, and Native North American Indian man, he's the end of the world. You understand? If you know anything about history or empires, you understand? We've been through this like our 7th empire. You understand? We've been through the Assyrian, the Persian, the Greek, the Roman, the Assyrian. You understand? Just imagine all those empires treating us the way how we're being treated in this empire. You don't think that the Negro man is tired? That the Hispanic man or the Native American Indian man or woman is tired of this oppression? Some of us are not. That's why we march and love and still love and love the white man. What? You understand? This kingdom will not last. This empire will not last.
Right.
You understand? This is the Most High showing Ezra's this. Read that again from the top.
Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
For Esau is the end of the world, or the end of your troubles, your oppression. You understand? Every single thing that he's done to you. The rape, robbery, pillage, bloodshed, all the drugs, all the violence, all his culture. Sooner or later, you're going to have to give it up, black man. You're going to have to give it up, Israel. Sooner or later, you're going to have to give it up. Now, what's going to happen when it's come time to the end of the world? What are you going to claim? Don't get left out here when Christ come back, not claiming anything. You understand? When I mean claiming, I mean talking about taking back your nationality, your culture, your language. You understand? These Lord statutes and commandments. Read on.
And Jacob,
which is the black man, the Hispanic man, Native North American Indian man, you understand? Judah all the way down to Issachar, the Lord's chosen people, the one that he made separate and holy, read on.
Is the beginning of it that followeth.
We're the beginning of that followeth. You understand? After this oppressor, you understand? After World War III and Yahweh Shai comes back with 200 million angels, right. You understand? To destroy Babylon. You understand? Hey, listen, man. We're gonna live again. You understand? Now we're gonna start understanding. You understand that the Most High made this world for our sakes. And it's going to come a time, you understand, when we're in the kingdom, we're ruling. We're going to be, we're going to have our children, our family. You understand, our president going to be in chains and yokes of iron, you understand, in the basement, slaving. You understand, your Asians, you understand, they're going to be doing whatever you want them to do. You understand, it's going to come a time when we go into these, the museums, Museum of Natural Israelite it's like I said, Museum of Natural History. You know what I'm saying? The Museum of Real Culture. You understand? The Museum of the Lord's Culture. You understand? And we're going to be seeing Edomites behind those glasses. You understand? Stuffed Edomites. You understand? Our children's going to be like, was these the people that oppressed us? You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna believe it. They not gonna believe it.
Right.
Not to get off the topic, right? I jumped that. What time we got? Let's go to one more scripture. Let's go to let's go to Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Amos 3, verse 1. You know what? Drop that. No, I'm being nice. Let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 13. I'm not being nice, but I'm just. Let's go there, because guess what? Our people don't hear enough of this. Our people do not hear enough of this. You understand? If you know anything in the ISUBK, you're going to constantly, we say that same thing. You understand? If it's brothers in New York, whether it's brothers in Philly, Baltimore, Jersey, Delaware, UK, you understand? The ISUBK, we're speaking the same doctrine. You understand? We're not like the Christian church in every single block speaking other doctrines. You understand? Scattering the Most High's chosen people and dividing them. Let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 13. You understand? This is what your leaders, like Martin Luther King, didn't know about your oppressor, about the man who's ruling over you. You understand? About the man who doesn't want you to be mixed with his woman. You understand? Don't want you to move into his neighborhoods and swim in his swimming pools or partake of his schools and his theaters. This is what the Most High feels about this man. Read on.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13. Oh, I can have it.
Come, sir.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved.
The Most High loved what?
Jacob have I loved.
The Most High loved Jacob. You understand? Who is Jacob? You understand? Jacob is the forefather of the is the father of the Israelites. You understand? Jacob turned his name had his name changed to Israel, which means he is a prince of power. We are the prince of power. You understand? We are not supposed to be subject to anything less than that. So why are we begging for the other nations' love still here in 2022? You understand? Just think about how many more murders that's going to be committed by law enforcement against Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians. And just think about how that Christian pastor is going to sit down with that father or mother and tell him to say, listen, I know you're going through pain. I know you lost your baby, your one and only baby. You understand? Nothing can ever remove that pain. You understand? But when you go in front of that camera, in front of that media, you understand what I want you, what the church wants you to do, what the Black church wants you to do. You know, we want you to reach deep down in your soul and say you forgive that man for killing your baby. You understand? Let the world know that you forgive. That's what happens. That's what happens. And you know what? That's a betrayal. That's a betrayal. You understand? Somebody took your child away from you. Somebody murdered murdered someone you raised or their life. Be taken in cold blood. And for you to forgive them. How many of us heard the stories? We heard the stories countless times. You understand how mother, one story, Slakia from me, a couple of years ago. You understand? This goes for you Black mothers. You understand who you know, Slakia, you know, when you Slakia, this story makes me mad. It was a brother, right? He had a mental condition. He needed medication. He wasn't on his medication, so he was acting up. The mother took it upon herself to call law enforcement on him. The guy, he's in a mental state. I believe he had like a knife on his hand, something like that. Long story short, cops came and killed him. You was basically asking for that. You understand what I'm saying? Salakia. Remind me where we at?
Yeah, Romans 9.
Right. So basically, this is the type of man that we're pledging our allegiance to, that we're serving, that we're going to his armies. You understand? Armies, his Air Force, his Marines, his Navies, and stuff like that. Disassociate yourself with that. You understand? You're fighting for a country. You're fighting for a country. You're serving a country who doesn't even give a damn about you. Well, we're like, what, 2/5 of a man? That's what they said, or something like that? Read on. Read it from the top.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
But Esau, as it is written, Jacob, Salakia, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. I think I mentioned Salakia. I think I broke down the Esau part first, Salakia. As it is written, Jacob have I loved. So the Most High loves Jacob. He loves his people, Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indian man. But read on.
Verse 14.
No, but Esau.
But Esau have I hated.
But Esau have I hated. The Most High hates Esau. Why does Most High hate Esau? Yeah, Salakia. Does the Most High hate Esau for his skin color?
No, sir.
Why is that?
You're asking why he doesn't hate him for?
Well, no, let me rephrase that. Originally, why does the Most High hate Esau?
Well,
Give me
So
Obadiah
verse
1 and 10.
11 says, if I could, Salakia.
Uh-huh.
For the children not being born yet, neither having done any good or evil,
Mhm.
that the purpose of God according to the election might stand,
Right.
not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right. Right. Absolutely right. The Most High is in control. You understand? That's like how I mentioned he built up Pharaoh just to destroy Pharaoh. That's how he's building up Esau empire just for it to be destroyed. The Most High loves who he loves and hates who he hates. That's why he's saying this. And saying, but why the Most High hates Esau? Have not what? Give me Obadiah. What you're saying is correct. Give me Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10. Let me go there with you. Let's go to Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10. This is going to be our last scripture. Get there with you. Obadiah is one of those books you gotta search for. If you can't find it, use your table of contents. It's only one chapter in the book of Obadiah. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10.
Or Akim have it.
Come.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10.
Start at verse 1 so we can understand the context of who this chapter is referring to.
Come.
Come on.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
The vision of Obadiah.
Mm-hmm.
Thus says the Lord God
Uh-huh.
concerning Edom.
Concerning who?
Edom.
Concerning Edom. You understand? We all know who Edom is, right? We all know who Edom is?
Come.
Drop down to verse 10.
Come. Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Listen. History done showed it. You understand? Need I say more? You understand the constant violence that our oppressor shows us? History, past, past, present. You understand? More violence is gonna happen in the future. Right? For the violence against, wait on.
Shame shall cover thee.
Against thy. Read again.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Read on.
Shame shall cover thee.
Read on.
And thou shalt be cut off forever.
And thou shalt be cut off forever. You
That's
understand?
right.
Listen. That bond of brotherhood is no more. You understand? That violence that you done showed us that you hate us. You understand? In Genesis, it says that Esau hate Jacob. You understand? They're going to be cut off forever. This is what the scripture's saying. Why are we fighting and marching and trying to gain love from a nation, from a race of people that hate us? You understand? That continuously show violence to us. You understand? Why in the Bible it says that for their violence, they're going to be cut off forever. You understand? All of that was vain. All of that protesting and marching and stuff like that, all of that was vain. You got people that say, well, yeah, we got jobs now, right? You may have some, simpletons that might say, oh yeah, well, we have jobs. Martin Luther King made it a better place. Now we could go over here. Now we could go over there. We could eat there. We could eat here. We got jobs now. But what are we forgetting? Originally, the Most High wanted what? Us to be what? Separate. When anybody comes to you saying, oh, well, now we have jobs and we have business and we have jobs, now we could go to their schools and their universities and whatnot, say, yeah. But it's the Most High's plan for us to be separate. We're supposed to have our own. You understand? Don't let them talk that job to you. You understand? It's what the Most High wanted. Jump down to verse 18.
Oh. Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire. You understand? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The house of Jacob in this context. Read on.
And the house of Joseph.
And the house of Joseph. You understand? The Ephraimites. You understand? The North, South, Central American, the Hispanic brothers and sisters. You understand? We're going to be a fire. So the house of Jacob is going to be a fire, and the house of Joseph as a flame. Letting you know that, listen, man, in these last days, we're coming back together as a nation. You understand? Remembering that who we are. You understand? And we're going to get together. And what we're going to do, we're on.
And the house of Esau for stubble.
Oh, man. And the house of Esau for stubble. We're going to set that flame. We're going to set that fire. And we're going to set that fire on Esau. You understand? Esau is like the coal, the stubble. You know?
And they shall kindle in them and devour them.
And we shall do what?
Devour them.
And we're going to devour them. You understand? Just like how they devoured us. You know?
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Until they're all gone. You understand? They're going to serve their they're going to serve their hardcore bondage and slavery. You understand? And eventually they're going to die out until there's no more lepers on the face of the earth. Just imagine one day you wake up, no more Edomites. You understand? Well, we know the plague of Cain, right? The flood came, got rid of that leprosy. You understand? But before Abraham and Jacob and Isaac time, we ain't see no Edomite. There wasn't no Edomites on the earth. You understand? So we're going to go back to that again where there's no Edomites on the face of the earth. You understand? We're going to be dealing with the other nations. You understand? Any more of that?
For the Lord has spoken it.
For the Lord has spoken it. This is what the Most High spoken. You understand? Let God be true and every man a liar.
Right.
You understand? We got to stop listening to these false leaders because they're the ones that's getting us into this these curses and these situations because they're telling us to serve the other nations, love the other nations, and whatnot, right? While the Most High want us to be separate because He gave us our own culture identity, right? And with that, I'm Preaching Officer Sha'al. I'm going to pass the class over to Preaching Officer Yawasapiada.
Clap it up for the class. Shalom, Israel.
Same question.